I've had my Nintendo DSi missing for 2 months at 3 bars, and that's what it is right now. I go ahead and turn on, it's at 3 bars. Last thing I used was the internet browser, but I did a little playing around with this thing. Right here's some Flipnote Studio, and some other things, like PictoChat. You get the basic idea. Review video coming soon. But that's insane. The fact that it only took me a couple of minutes to actually find this thing when I went to go look for it today, and the fact that it still turned on and everything, and the battery was in pristine percent, 75% after being lost for 2 months, compared to my iPhone 6s that was disabled at that time, so it couldn't even do anything. This thing while it's asleep could do some things, but the iPhone 6s was disabled. It was lost for 2 weeks. It was at 89% last time I checked it, and then when I went to go check on it, it was dead. I'm not even joking. Okay, if you can't see it, this is my DSi. It's the black variant, because, why not? Black and pink are cool colors, just saying. But why not get a black DSi? I mean, after all, it's good for dark mode, I guess. Oh yeah, and if you ever want to adjust your brightness, press the volume up or down button while holding select. Let's volume up. Oh, this is just a gravestone at a war thing, at a war memorial place, so this isn't really personal. These are just people who died in the Vietnam War, which none of my family members did, but still sucks. Anyways, this isn't a political channel, so let's continue. So turn brightness up, but that hurts my eyes, so we're just going to turn it back to a low section like I had it. And you can see it much better now, instead of, Discord light mode, which is basically that, and barely even focuses. So yeah, that's the Nintendo DSi after 2 months. No usage at all. Still turned on correctly. That's insane. Like, I bet you that if you have an iPhone 6s or 6 right now, you could lose it, check back on, or just not use it, check back on it in 2 to 3 days. Even if it's fully charged, you can go back to it, and then you see that it's dead. Like, no life in it at all. Just completely dead. Meanwhile, something like, let's say a DSi or a Samsung Galaxy, let's take one from that same year. Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. You could lose a Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge and Nintendo DSi. And, they would both still power on. You may think, well, why are you comparing a 11-year-old device to a 5-year-old device? Well, things that the 5-year-old device should have better battery life, because one, it's a phone, and even at that time, many people had big usages for phones. And two, I have no words. And two is that, this is a gaming console. No specialties with. Ooh! Let's just pretend that did not happen. Does it still turn on? Okay, thank God. So I can still do the review. On. Oh, okay, there we go. That scared me for a second. Continuing on. Yeah, and it seems that the DSi is much more durable. I've had a couple of those kind of drops before, and look at this. You see this thing? The only noticeable thing you can see is a scuff on the edge, and that's it. Nothing else you can see that is, you know, actual damage or anything. And either way, the scuff mark is actually right in the corner of the shoulder button, so it actually makes it a little more comfortable to hold. But either way, it kind of sucks to drop it. But my iPhone 6s fell off a tripod, which was about 3 feet, and it completely just died. Like, I'm not talking the battery just absorbed the shock and turned off. No, like, it didn't even work. It was just completely dead. But yeah, that's insane how a Nintendo DSi that I lost for many months has managed to stay alive. There's something about Nintendo and Nokia batteries. There's something about them. One time I also didn't use my Nokia 1208, which was my first phone ever. Used it for a long while. And I didn't use it for a little while, right? Oh, wait, I just dropped the stylus. Here we go. And I didn't use it for a little while. And it still turned on. It was still at its full percentage. It still worked. Like, I didn't need to plug it in or anything. And this just now, that's insane. Didn't use my 3DS for about 4 months, I think. Went to go turn it on. And what do you know, it actually turned on. Now, it wasn't at like full bars, it was at like 2 bars, but to be fair, that's still insane. And that's something. Why do these devices have such long battery lives? But nowadays we see smartphones coming out, and and especially Apple. I'm watching you, Apple. Their battery lives are really short. Like you could probably get 1 to 3 hours of, you know, using the internet browser. While this thing, believe it or not, at the section mine is at the lowest brightness. You can use the internet browser on here, which doesn't really use too much up, but let's carry on. And it would still, oh boy, it would still last longer than 3 hours. In fact, from what I've seen, it lasts 11 hours using the internet browser on low section. And don't get started on the DSi XL. Apparently that has even longer battery life by an hour. So if you have DSi XL, you have 12 or 13 hours of battery life using the internet browser, which I know most people are going to be playing games, but with the lowest section minus the brightness in my model, well, that's probably just the way I was holding it. Oh yeah, it's with the lowest brightness section, I can play some really good game like Tetris, and I could, play it for 6 hours. I'm not even joking with you. It lasts 6 hours. Not not 3 hours like the Nintendo Switch, 6 hours, which, to be fair, 3 hours isn't too bad for the more powerful games you could play on there, like, let's say Minecraft, Rocket League, and Fortnite, and you could get, like, about 3 hours out of that. But if you play games that don't have, like, intense needs, and just, like, low-level graphics and low-level worlds, like, let's say, Animal Crossing New Horizons or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that can last for about 4 to 6 hours. And if you haven't seen my videos before, I'm pretty sure you can tell this, but I do in fact love Nintendo. I have a Wii, this is my DSi, I have a 3DS, or it's more of a 2DS, but you get my point, and I have a Nintendo Switch. They're all featured in my Nintendo Switch 2020 review. Does scratches really, or does toothpaste really fix scratches on the screen? Wii sensor bar issue, and this one right here. DS battery life is insane. Alright, that's all for now. I'm sorry this is stretched longer, but have a good day and goodbye.